This vote, this fight, this nomination will not be over until the Senate votes, if it does vote. Winning that vote, if it happens, is everything. Action and reaction, anger and more anger, sorrow and frustration at the way things are in this country now politically. That's the cycle that Republican senators will continue to perpetuate if they go down this dangerous path that they put us on. We need to de-escalate, not escalate. So I appeal to those few Senate Republicans, the handful who really will decide what happens. Please follow your conscience. Don't vote to confirm anyone nominated under the circumstances President Trump and Senator McConnell have created. Don't go there. Uphold your constitutional duty, your conscience. Let the people speak. Cool the flames that have been engulfing our country. We can't keep rewriting history, scrambling norms, ignoring our cherished system of checks and balances. That includes this whole business of releasing a list of potential nominees that I would put forward. But now saying, after Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away, they said Biden should release his list. It's no wonder the Trump campaign asked that I release the list only after she passed away. It's a game for them. It's a play to gin up emotions and anger. There's a reason why no presidential candidate other than Donald Trump has ever done such a thing. First, putting a judge's name on a list like that could influence that person's decision-making as a judge, and that would be wrong, or at least create the perception that it would influence. Second, anyone put on a list like that under these circumstances will be subject to unrelenting political attacks, because any nominee I would select would not get a hearing until 2021 at the earliest. She would endure those attacks for months on end without being able to defend herself. And thirdly and finally, perhaps most importantly, if I win, I'll make my choice for the Supreme Court not based on a partisan election campaign, but on what prior presidents have done, Republican and Democrats, and I've served with many of them. Only after consulting Democrats and Republicans in the United States Senate and seeking their advice and asking for their consent. It says advise and consent the Senate. The president is the person who gets to name someone, propose. The Senate disposes. As everyone knows, I made it clear that my first choice for the Supreme Court will make history as the first African-American woman justice. But I'll consult with senators in both parties about that pick, as well as the legal and civil leaders in our country. In the end, the choice will be mine and mine alone, but I will consult. But it will be the product of a process that restores our finest traditions, not the extension of one that's torn this country apart the last years. So let me conclude with this. As I've said in this campaign, we're in the battle for the soul of this country. We face historic crises, once-in-a-generation pandemic, a devastating economic recession, the rise of white supremacy that the FBI directors warned us against, unseen since the 60s, and a reckoning on race that's long overdue, a challenging climate, a changing climate that is ravaging our nation and the world as we speak. The Supreme Court decisions will touch every part of these crises, every part of our lives and our future. The last thing we need is to add a constitutional crisis that plunges us deeper into the abyss, deeper into the darkness. If we go down this path, I predict it will cause irreversible damage. The infection this president has unleashed on our democracy can be fatal. Enough. 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 We must come together as a nation. Democrats, Republicans, independents, liberals, conservatives, everybody. I'm not saying we have to agree on everything, but we have to reason our way through what ails us as citizens, voters, public servants. That's the guidebook called the Constitution. We have to act in good faith and mutual goodwill in the spirit of conciliation, not confrontation. This nation will continue to be inspired by Ruth Bader Ginsburg, but we should not only be inspired by her, we should be guided by her. And by her willingness to listen to those with whom she disagreed, to respect other points of view. Famously, Justice Ginsburg got along well with some of the most conservative justices on the court. And she did it without compromising her principles, clouding her moral clarity, or losing her core principles. If she can do this, so can we. How we talk to one another matters. How we treat one another matters. Respecting others matters. Justice Ginsburg proved it's important to have a spine of steel, but also important to have an open hand, not a clenched fist, to those with whom we disagree. This nation needs to come together. I've said it many times in this election. We are the United States of America. There's nothing we cannot overcome. There's nothing we cannot do if we do it together. Donald Trump seems to want us to divide this nation between red states and blue states, between representing those states that vote for him, ignoring those who don't. I do not. I cannot. I will not be that president. I'll be a president for the whole country, for those who vote for me and those who vote against me. We need to rise to this moment for the sake of the country we love so dearly, indeed for its very soul. May God bless the United States of America. May God protect our troops. And may God bless Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Thank you so much.